everyone. Welcome to Advantage Club's Inspiring Leaders and Leadership podcast. My name is Ritika. I'm your host for today and also the AVP PR for the founders of Advantage Club. So today we have with us someone very, very special from the HR fraternity. And let me tell you, he's not just any other HR professional, but he's also a life coach, a social entrepreneur, and also a poet. Let me welcome Jakeson. Jakeson, welcome to the podcast.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Ritika. Pleasure is mine.
Likewise, Jackson. So, Jackson, for our viewers today, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself? How has been your journey so far in the industry, and anything interesting that's happening currently with you? Yeah.
Right. Okay. My corporate venture began in Singapore when I spent a decade as a senior training and development manager. Gladly, I returned to the Philippines when I decided to start a family. I'm a passionate advocate of mental health in the workplace and holds a bachelor's degree in clinical psychology from the Philippines and a diploma in teaching and supporting children with special needs in Singapore. I'm currently studying Masters of Arts in Guidance and Counseling. And on my last leg of thesis writing, finally, with the entitled The Lived Experience of PWDs and Seniors in the Philippines. My accomplishment continued to soar high as I obtained my HR licenses with globally recognized level of achievement in the field of human resources from CPHR or CAHR United Kingdom, as well as the prestigious CHRME Level 3 designation issued by American Certification Institute of Delaware, USA. I am also recently named as the Global HR Executive 2022 by International HR Institute last November. So Ritika, unknown to many, I was featured online by famous social media blog posts and website last 2020. It's called When in Manila, When in Pampanga, or Scholarship Corner, because during the times of COVID, not we're not doing anything, and the only thing that we can do is to thrive in during the pandemic. So I was able to complete 24 short courses from top universities and elite companies around the world in just 3 days. So adding to a bunch or list of my accomplishment, I was able to complete 23 tests that these are vocational courses or has a national certificate of NC2 or NC3 in just 2 days. So last year, I also received the talent management with a proficient badge issued by Institute of Human Resource Professionals. So currently, as shared with you, I am working as a full-time as senior HR and stakeholder engagement at Power for All and as a director of business excellence at IQBet's HR and organizational development consultancy. As a resource speaker to various webinars, and also I'm a founder of Facebook groups as like HR TLC or Training Licensing Certification, Pampanga OJTs, Job Hiring Pangasinan and Manila, which has a total of 15,000 members. So these are the things that I continue to share my expertise at the workplace, empower employees, and prepare millennials or HR leaders for tomorrow.
That's wonderful, Jackson. I'm sure you literally have a lot of hats. That's quite a lot. Yeah. Impressive.
Right.
So, Jackson, could you please tell me, you have mentioned quite a lot of things which you're currently doing, and pursuing as So, could you please tell me any challenge which has been, a life-changing moment for you in your career till now, and what have you learned from those challenges as of now?
Right. A lot of challenges, but I want to highlight a very common challenge, which is communication. So I firmly believe that communication is essential. So HR leaders must ensure that communicating effectively with the stakeholders as what my role is. One example is, for example, resigning employee. Most of the times, being heard that's the only thing they want to, is the only answer for them to stay. So some of the key challenges of HR nowadays is typically a high turnover rate in a department is one of the example as an HR leader may face. In this case, the HR leader would need to investigate the reasons for turnover or devise retention strategies. This could include improving the work environment by providing opportunities for professional development. So those were the things that we can do.
Absolutely. Very well said, Jakeson. You also mentioned a very vital point here that communication is a key. Be it in your personal life or your professional life, communication can actually break a lot of barriers in your day-to-day life. So on that note, Jakeson, I would like to ask you, in a very you know the current workplace scenario is very much known to each one of us. So, and you rightly mentioned communication plays a very important role. So, tell me, Jackson, is there any initiatives taken up by your organization or by your team, for employees, be it recognition wise or be it, in the engagement levels? Because communication is the first step which you need to actually cross, and then the rest of the things follow. So, any innovative employee recognition and engagement programs in your company at the moment?
All right, I'll start with the employee engagement. So we're very specific and highly put regards on these in terms of employee engagement and wellness, because we believe that this is a significant challenge for HR leaders. So employees who are engaged and satisfied with their jobs are more productive and less likely to quit. So what we did is to partner with all other merchants or establishments like foods and non-food so we can reward our employee. So as a human resource leader, we can prioritize the development also of the program to improve employees' wellness by partnering, for example, mental health support or practitioners, and wellness initiatives like partnering with gyms and some courses that they can find very relaxing out of their daily work.
Wonderful. Jackson, I had one thing in mind, like I was just listening to you now. You very well, quietly mentioned about mental health, which is, of course, the current, a very current major concern for all individuals, today. Either they're working or they're running a business, whatsoever. Mental health is very, very important in today's time. And you clearly mentioned it in quite of your conversation. So tell me, Jackson, what has been your biggest support? I'm sure you must have had your ups and downs, like all of us. So, what has been your biggest support, or anybody who's been your mentor over this challenging times of yours?
Right. I tried to visualize now. I'm thinking who is really my biggest supporter and mentor. But during the few years of my profession, I cannot find a regular mentor. Okay, then I put into consideration some colleagues or supervisors who has provided me guidance, feedback, and support throughout my career. Became my greatest supporter, or whereas for me it is a silent or indirect mentor. So I'm like thinking, hey, you are my mentor, but they didn't know. So for me, I would identify that this person may have shared their knowledge and experience with me. So those things. Now, external mentors or supporters, such as professional association, networking groups, such as we have the Philippine HR Group or PHRG with growing numbers of members, or I usually tap some industry expert that I have been known and they are available as a mentor. So I volunteer to be their mentee. Okay. So, but personally, the most important supporter in my life, definitely my wife, Joanna, because she understood what's the challenges that we face and the demands as an HR leader, and my whole Quiatchon family. So as an HR leader, it defines my roots, having individual experiences or career goals. So I think as a mentor, anyone that could be someone who has been with you or us since the beginning of our career could be someone we consider as a mentor.
Absolutely, absolutely, Jakeson. So, Jakeson, I can clearly, I can clearly understand that you strongly believe in the mental health scenario of, of any individual, and especially when you're talking about employees in the workplace scenario. So, any organization or any HR leader who thinks of employees' mental health, I'm sure employees comes first. It's like for them, employees is the first and the foremost, reason to actually worry about. So how do you plan to champion this people first vision? Like like today, every organization plans to actually be a people first culture and people first a vision. What are your takes on that?
Yeah, your question is significantly relevant as I'm seeing the word people first. Even on the posted job ads nowadays, I can see that, HR practitioners or leaders should be people first. So, to champion that, a few steps that I need to share with you is to create a clear vision and strategy. That's the first. So HR leaders should create this clear vision or strategy to put people first. So this includes focus on providing a positive employee experience and developing a stronger employer brand. Now, after having that clear vision, you need to communicate your vision. Of course, should not stay on the room or within just written down in your notebook, but HR leaders should communicate it with the people and the stakeholders. This can ensure that everyone understand the importance of putting people first, like holding a town hall meeting, developing employee communications, or promoting the visions through social media. So next is to also to create a strong employer brand, that we should have a compelling employee value proposition demonstrating the company's commitment to employee development and well-being, promoting company culture, your values, and whatever it entails. Next, I'm thinking to have us implement an employee-focused policies and program, right? Because with these initiatives, we need to be flexible, such as nowadays it's very um, trendy, the flexible working arrangements, and also some career development opportunities, especially now that we're dealing with millennials. They also look for those developments. They don't want to be stagnant, and also encourage a culture of continuous improvement. But generally, I find that HR should be a good example by modeling people first, or people first vision in their own behavior and decision making. So it should shown every day. Like for instance, being empathetic, listening to employees' feedback, getting this decision that prioritize employees' well-being, and any personal or career development.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Jakeson, on this. Well said. So, Jakeson, before I end up this, this candid conversation with you, would want to know, as you just rightly mentioned, that currently we're dealing with Gen Zs and millennials, and I'm sure there are a lot many out there who would want to actually be, leaders, and not just any other leader, an HR leader, in the future. So, Jakeson, any piece of advice for, those upcoming future, of tomorrow?
Right. HR is really evolving, Ritika, and for years and decades, there are a lot of contributions that have been valued as well and recognized by companies. So organization can see this very effective on various dimension. And for me, some of the advice that I can give is to be agile to the stakeholders and HR designs, as mentioned, that there are a lot of dimensions that keep on coming, emerging, HR initiatives. So because the business landscape is constantly changing, so HR leader must. Next is also to develop a strategic mindset. So we've heard a lot about the HRBP or business partners. So here, having a strategic mindset should also align an overall goals or objective of the company, but more so understanding organization's vision, mission, and values. Also ensuring that the policies and programs are aligned. We also need to embrace a digital technology, and of course, now that analytics are very important, so that the stakeholders or the management can have a better or informed decision. But as an HR leader, it's very important to always look at the employees' experiences and build HR relationship. So these are the things that we can prioritize. I always share with my team to be a catalyst or agent of change, because if you are an HR leaders and you don't make any change who drive organizational transformation and innovation, then it means you are not really doing your part or job. Okay, we should not be complacent in whatever we do. So with all those things, HR practices, we should deploy changes and being a people first. So with this part of people first and becoming an HR leader is to recognize or reward employees, do a lot of alignment, integration, how we can simplify, such as onboarding or performance management. But to conclude, I think I'd like to share that we should adopt a growth mindset or understand human capability and be dedicated to continuous learning and development. Because as shared with you in my introduction, that's how I embody a continuous learning and acquiring new knowledge, skills, and experience. So that's for me, Ritika.
Great, Jakeson. As you rightly mentioned, it's no more a one size fits all scenario anymore. So every employee has a different need, and as HR's leaders, they actually should come up and address all those needs individually and come up with new strategies, as you mentioned, for them to actually recognize those employees and engage them and not let them quit, as we all say. So yeah, thank you so
Right.
much, Jakeson. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure, and I hope our viewers are going to be, thrilled to actually get to know such information, such insightful discussion that we had. Looking forward more to it. Thank you so much, Jakeson.
Right. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.